This the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out Smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space. Now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats. This is my brutality. This is my brutality.
Wow.
Starting to look like we're going to get Charlotte Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
That's what it looks like. Welcome to the War Report, everybody. The War Report podcast brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for fans of professional wrestling. Currently under construction. We are rebuilding the site from the bottom up. We'll have more about that a little bit later. But for now, of course, the War Report podcast goes live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time. We broadcast live on YouTube, live on Twitch, and we're on all the podcast apps for your audio needs. The day after or the 2 days after, depending on when Ryan puts it up. But we are here to discuss lots and lots of wrestling things, news and updates, and the road to WrestleMania has begun, and we're well on our way, and we've got some matches established and ready to go, and I don't know where you want to start. Well, of course, we got Dynamite 2. We've got NWA. We've got some new champions in the NWA.
Well,
one of them's a spoiler because it was a pre-tape. I don't know what happened tonight, but yeah. Where do you want to start off?
Well,
Steve?
we definitely have a lot to cover. I think we really should. Well, who the fuck? I mean, where do you guys want to start? I mean, there's really, to me, it was a good week all around in wrestling. I thought AEW Dynamite was great. I thought SmackDown Live was decent. I thought Raw was decent. NXT. Always a home run. I liked NXT, specifically the whole interaction with Dijak and Keith Lee. And
yeah, if you haven't seen a Keith Lee Dijak match yet, you're in for a treat.
Which it looks like that's, well, now it's headed because Damian Priest lost to Dijak, which was an outstanding match. I mean, it's just, it was just a great week. AEW Dynamite was great. We got a lot of Jericho, which is always great.
Yeah.
Le Champion.
The Jericho.
We got Baron Corbin had to eat dog food, so hopefully that's the end of this fucking bullshit.
God, let's hope so, because that seems like the last, right? Like everything kind of looked like that was it.
Right. I mean
that was a great way to end it.
Well, I mean, they kept talking about the dog food so much that was the only way they could go about it. Really, they had to do something like that.
Well, it's like it came full circle, you know. You know, Baron got what was coming to him, kind of thing. Ricochet, Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, that's going to be on
at Super Showdown.
And that's a Thursday for Thursday, like afternoon or something for us.
Fantastic. I'm off on Thursdays.
There you go. What did you guys think? Speaking of like all this stuff, I'll talk a little bit about. We'll probably bounce around, but Raw opened up on Monday last night with what was essentially 14 minutes of silence. Randy Orton. He came out and he was supposed to explain himself. And first of all, the crowd, which...
Yeah, let's not say that it wasn't silent by any means. The crowd would not let Orton get a word out, which is great because it just shows you the amount of heat. The amount of heat that he generated from this whole Edge deal. Nobody draws heat better than Orton.
No.
You know, I think that segment was perfect because Orton's supposed to come out and explain why he did what he did. He couldn't get the words out, and then when he finally had an opportunity, he just said, "I can't do this," and he walks out, making people want more and wonder why more. And it just to me, that was a great opening segment for Raw.
Because he's obviously, even during that Edge segment, and then to continuing on Monday, he was conflicted. He almost didn't want to do it. It was like he was trying to stop himself. It's like he's got multiple personalities. It's like he's got voices in his head, and they talk to him, and they understand. So the voices were telling him what to do, and he messed up Edge and gave him the one-man concerto. And then he really didn't. He couldn't explain it, which sounds kind of like what would happen if you asked somebody who had like multiple personality disorder or something, or schizophrenia or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But it seems like if you asked somebody with one of those conditions, they couldn't really give you an answer for why they do the things they do. And Randy Orton couldn't spit it out. And you're right, Steve. Nobody gets heat like Randy Orton. It seems like he kind of coasts for 6 or 8 months out of the year. And then when he really wants to do something, he'll just turn it up. And he's such a good performer that even when he was younger, it was the same kind of thing. It's like, it's not that he's lazy. It's that he's so good. It just comes to him so easily. It's almost like he doesn't try until he really wants to turn the volume up. And you just wish you'd get that consistent Randy Orton. If he was the Randy Orton of last week and this week, and the Randy Orton when he like punted Stephanie McMahon, and all, if he was consistently that guy, he would be the biggest name of the last 10 or 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Instead, you've got like Cena and Batista and Reigns. There's a lot of top guys. He was one of them, but he would have really separated himself because he was such technically a good wrestler. And then on top of that, could get a lot of heat and get those crowd reactions.
Can you imagine if he goes after Beth Phoenix at some point?
Oh, that would be a little bit of a Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho.
Listen,
throwback.
Beth Phoenix somewhat already got herself involved because she acknowledged what happened on NXT. So
yes,
yeah,
it's very possible that you're going to see Beth Phoenix involved.
And you know me, you know how much I love storyline continuity, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been weird if she was on NXT and.
Oh yeah, it would have been weird.
It would just be
like the whole Renee Young, Dean Ambrose thing.
Yeah, they never really explained that. They'd question Renee, and she'd be like, "Well, you know,
Dean does his own thing."
Yeah, we don't talk.
I don't know what he's thinking. Really?
You live with the guy. You're married.
Exactly.
you think
now, mind you, I don't know what my husband's thinking sometimes either, but that's just a typical day-to-day basis. But
But yeah, you'd think if you'd be sitting at dinner and be like, "So, honey, why did you decide to beat up one of your best friends the night that your other best friend came out and said he had cancer?"
I don't know. You got me by the shorts.
I have a friend that I was hanging out with over the weekend, and I couldn't believe it. He thinks that the cancer thing was a work.
Really?
What?
Well, there's a lot of people that
I'm like, no, it can't. Like, it would hurt my soul so much if they used a cancer diagnosis.
I don't think they're even that despicable.
I don't even think Vince can come up with that one.
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, they did use it to build sympathy for him and make him a babyface again. But
I take that back. This is the man that came up with Katie Vick.
He not just Katie Vick. How many times did he pitch an angle where he wanted either himself or Shane to be the father of Stephanie's baby?
Oh, okay. Maybe he can come up with cancer.
But yeah, it would pain me to think that they would come up with a fake cancer.
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah. It'd be too much. But I just thought it was funny because we're talking about wrestling. He's a big wrestling fan, but his one bugaboo was like, yeah, that cancer thing was fake. And I'm like, I don't know. That's like the earth is flat, people. They're turning the freaking frogs gay. Like, no, it's a little too much for me.
Oh my God.
But so that was like the big moment that opened Raw. I went to the grocery store for a little while in there, but I noticed that there was Well, I was hungry, so I had to go to the store. But one of the things that I thought was funny is Andrade is out because of his wellness policy violation. So they just decided to take every other Mexican guy that they had on the roster and put them into the storyline.
Yeah.
They're like, here's Angel Garza, here's Rey Mysterio.
But it's
like,
interesting because Angel Garza and Humberto are real life cousins.
yeah, and the
I didn't know
grandfather is Hector Garza. I think the grandfather is Hector Garza. Yeah, so they're related in real life. Which
Their uncle was Hector Garza.
But if that's good, like you said, Eric, going back to continuity, that's if you know that, and when they explain that on TV, they're real life cousins, and now she's working. Zelina Vega's working with Angel. That's great. And then all of a sudden, just Rey Mysterio comes down. It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna, he's the elder.
Rey has a lot of history with their uncle.
Right, he's like the elder statesman of the Luchadors now, so he's kind of come out and is gonna be like the father figure here.
And when Andrade comes back, it's gonna be a big awesome tag match with the Mexican wrestlers, that kind of thing.
I would, if he comes back in time, which I think he will, it would be a nice match.
Because they didn't take the belt off him.
Right, they didn't take the belt off him. So how about a ladder match with all of the Luchadors for that was it the U.S. title at WrestleMania?
That would be crazy.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, Luchador ladder match. Or were they going to do? I heard something about they were going to do a TLC for the SmackDown tag titles with the New Day and some other teams. So I don't know, but it seems like we're going to get a ladder match for WrestleMania this year.
Definitely. I will never be disappointed with a ladder match.
I'm not mad at a ladder match.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd like to see like New Day versus Miz and Morrison in a ladder match or something.
Right. So that's what I think it would be, like New Day, Usos, Miz and Morrison, and then I don't know who else is on.
Maybe
well, let me also. I'm just going to throw this out there. They are talking about having Christian involved somehow in this storyline with Orton and Edge also. So maybe one more run with Edge and Christian at some point too before Mania.
They need to do a 5-second pose.
Oh, it'll happen.
5-second pose. I would be supremely disappointed.
I can't see that not happening.
Know what the benefit of flash photography is though anymore? Because all you have is cell phones.
Well, there's a little flash on there, right?
For the benefits of those with flash photography. What the fuck?
Yeah, and they're like, what are they talking? What
Autumn asked me that. She's like, what's flash photography? I'm like,
oh boy.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
she had no clue.
Well,
we're old.
Yeah, well, it's like the meme that's going around. It says, when your little cousin asks you why this old guy is stealing Roman Reigns' finishing move, and you're just like, you don't understand.
No. I haven't seen that one yet.
And it's a picture of the angry Miz girl. Like, that's the face you'd make.
Oh, my God.
Which, that's another thing. That girl's probably 25 now. The angry Miz girl. People don't even remember the angry Miz girl.
Oh, I remember her.
I know, but it was
her.
2009. But
Who could forget that face?
They loved that. That was
when that happened?
I think it was 09, right? It was.
Oh, I thought you said you were 9. I was
no,
like,
no, I wasn't 9. She was 9. No, it was 2000. I think it was 2009, right?
Between that and the shocked Undertaker guy are the most iconic faces in the crowd.
Yeah. But that's the problem. Those two people did that, and now they cut to the crowd way too often trying to catch lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah.
And it's just not, you're not going to catch those reactions again. The only other one that I really like is there's like a chubby Filipino kid who's a big Bailey fan. And when Bailey lost one time, he had his Bailey tassels on, and he was like, "Oh my God!" And they took a picture, and it was just
I saw that.
They zoomed in on him, and I was like, "Oh, that's a sad wrestling face right there." But it was just great because he had the Bailey tassels were on his arms, and he was just like this, and the tassels were surrounding his face.
That one they have from the Rumble, though, that one dude's reaction when Edge came out is a pretty good one, too, though.
Yeah, but they shouldn't.
And then there's Brock Lesnar guy.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar guy and a couple other,
Yeah, Brock Lesnar guy was another one they always...
he wears the same damn shirt.
Yeah, that stupid green shirt. And he shows up on AEW now, too. He doesn't just go to WWE stuff. I've seen him at, like, the pay-per-views and a couple Dynamites.
So my favorite was when Steve was on Total Divas.
That's right.
That's
Our
right.
very own Steve was on talking to Paige. Who were you talking to?
No, it wasn't Total Divas. It was
Oh no, it was
It was like a WrestleMania.
it was Seth Rollins 24.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
That's awesome.
me and Seth Rollins had a conversation at the airport.
But you were on Total Divas too. There's a picture of you in one of the freeze frame shots. We saw this a while ago.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
You're all over the place.
I get
You
around.
were bugging about that. Yeah, I remember. Because we all jumped in the chat like, were you just on Total Divas? And you're like, yes, I am.
He was a goddamn Renaissance man.
I'm all over the place,
right.
folks. That's how I roll.
Fantastic. So, what do we think of overly cocky Becky Lynch?
I love it.
Why not?
I feel like it's one of those things where they're setting her up to be so cocky that she's going to be set up for a fall. Like she's going to go up and get this big ego, and then somebody's going to humble her. And
I think it's going to lead her to a heel turn.
Yeah, I think so too. But I feel like it has to culminate with her losing to somebody, whether it's Asuka one more time or if it's at WrestleMania, she loses it and then kind of goes into a downward spiral. But I feel like she did this thing. Oh, well, when I beat you, Asuka, I gained superpowers and I've got eyes in the back of my head. And she's like Conor McGregor almost. She's like this over the top hyperbole kind of ego thing. And I don't dislike it. I just think, excuse me, I burped at seltzer, but this ain't water. No, it's I'm thinking it definitely has to set up for some kind of she's gonna get too cocky, somebody's gonna take advantage of that, and then that's gonna lead to the heel turn.
Yeah, but I think that's where that whole thing is headed. Here's something else we gotta mention. Braun Strowman finally getting a singles title.
That's right.
He's a champion.
Shinsuke held that Intercontinental title for something like 120 days and only defended it 3 times.
How sad is that?
Oof.
I hear the kids.
Shinsuke needs a face turn.
Yeah, Shinsuke needs. It's so unfortunate because I understand what he did. He took a contract with the WWE to get a good payday and save up his money so he could like retire and kind of take it easy. He didn't have to wrestle that Japanese style that's so hard hitting. And he's taking it easy now. But like there was so much hype when Shinsuke came in. He wrestled that great match with Sami Zayn. And there was this build up.
Well, he had a great NXT run.
He did, and then he was going to have a good. He won the Royal Rumble. He looked like he was set up to win the championship at WrestleMania, and then it was just like, nope. And ever since then, it's just kind of been like taking it easy, Shinsuke Nakamura. He's not quite the same as he once was, but we all get older. It's just I wanted to see more of that hard hitting Japanese strong style Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's not really what we're getting right now.
Yeah, I personally feel they have totally screwed up Shinsuke's entire run on the main roster.
Oh yeah,
they've done nothing right with it. Keeping him on the IC title, great. Have him defend it more than 3 times. I mean, that's just stupid.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. He was running around with Cesaro and Sami Zayn, and they were doing like 6-man tags, and they were doing tag team matches and all this other stuff. When he's carrying around the Intercontinental Championship,
right?
He should. If you're going to have the belt, you should defend it. That is, with all the complaints we make about Brock Lesnar not being there, not defending the title. There's Shinsuke. He's on the main roster. He's a full-time member. He's there every Friday on Smackdown. He was there competing, and he only defended the title, literally, I think it was 3 times.
While we're on the subject, what about Sami Zayn? Is that his role now? Is he just not going to wrestle anymore?
Yeah,
I don't really have an answer to that.
That's kind of sucks if he doesn't.
I know. It seems like he's just got those shoulder issues just keep popping up, and maybe they feel like if he's going to wrestle again, it would be a risk of tearing one or both.
I mean, the guy tore something in his entrance.
Right. One of them was during an entrance, and that was just one shoulder. The next time he had a shoulder injury, he tore both of them, and he had to have dual, what does he call it? Bilateral labrum surgery. Holy Moses. So I mean, who knows if he's even really healed back from that? Because that's pretty rough to have both of your shoulders worked on at the same time. But I again, he's another guy. I saw him wrestle in Ring of Honor as El Generico. He wrestled with PWG. He was all over the place, and there was a lot of hype behind him, and then just nothing now. He's just the manager.
I think we need to discuss Samoa Joe.
He is funny as shit though as the mouthpiece.
Oh yeah. It's a good role for him, but you know, the best part about having a guy like that around is like when Bobby Heenan would talk a lot of shit. Eventually, somebody would get a hold of him and put him in a weasel suit or hit him with their finisher or whatever it was. But then, with Sammy, if he's injured, you can't really bump him around because you don't want him to get re-injured.
What's going on, speaking of injury? So, AJ Styles is out indefinitely with an injury. What's the time frame? Anybody know?
At first, it was like 4 to 6 weeks, but
right.
I think it
I
might
heard
be
the same. I heard the same 4 to 6 weeks, but depending on the severity of it.
Like he says, he's going to be at WrestleMania no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, he
But then, you know, like, what are they're just going to have to shoehorn him into something when he gets back.
Yeah, it's too bad that they couldn't. I know the way to heal from an injury is to not be traveling on an airplane and sleeping in a hotel and all that stuff. But it would be nice to keep him fresh in people's minds, keep him on TV. I mean, if he's with Gallows and Anderson as the OC, then, you know, they can be heaters for him. He can kind of be in the background like Sami Zayn. He could be present and then just have the other guys wrestle. But
according to WWE, he's recovering way ahead of doctors' projections.
oh, good. Maybe he'll show up to.
I swear, man, these wrestlers are superheroes. My goodness.
Yeah. What if he showed up at like Elimination Chamber? So do we still got Elimination Chamber coming up? Because don't they usually do that right before WrestleMania?
I don't know. I know the next show is the Super Showdown.
Super Showdown.
March 8th, 20 is the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, okay.
What about Samoa Joe? Like, because that, like, thing that kind of shocked me.
Well, I'm hearing mixed that he wasn't suspended. I heard that he was suspended, so I don't even know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I saw the thing that Ryan sent to us, but then I saw a thing on Reddit that kind of disputed. Right.
So then it's just an injury then.
Well, he suffered a concussion last week. After
he did.
Got a concussion.
Legitimately.
But you know what? Here's the other thing, though, which I kind of said about it earlier. Wellness, it depends on what he even took or if he passed or whatever, because the guy was out with a serious injury. So he might be prescribed something that popped up on the test, and they were like, oh, well, fuck it, he's supposed to be taking this.
And maybe that particular painkiller was not on the...
Right. Or it even could be a steroid, because they do prescribe steroids to help you recover from physical injury. So they do. The good thing is, it used to be a little more strict. Now, if you provide the prescription to WWE, they'll rescind your wellness policy violation. If you can prove that a doctor prescribed it to you and that you're not abusing it, then you're fine.
Right. And like I said, especially with the injury that he had, and then even though if he didn't really hurt himself, I mean, aside from concussion, because that's obviously hurting himself, but a re-injury towards what he had, he's still going to be sore and hurt like hell coming out of the ring, no matter what.
Oh yeah, especially he's been walking around ever since that he wrestled a match with Sting a couple years ago in TNA, and he took a big bump down a set of concrete stairs that were in the impact zone in the arena. Like they went and fought in the crowd, and then Sting like gave him one of those big punches, and he took like a big bump, or did he take a dive and dove at Sting? Either way, he flew down about 5 or 6 stairs and then landed at the bottom, and ever since then, really hasn't been walking around and getting around as well. He kind of messed himself up doing that. But the things I'm reading right now, PW Insider reports WWE sources have vociferously denied that Joe is currently suspended. So hopefully he's not. A lot of comicbook.com is saying the same, or DDT, well, no, Daily DDT, Wrestling News Co. A lot of these, I don't know who the fuck some of these people
Either
are.
way, it just concerned me because I just, want to see Samoa Joe succeed in WWE.
I know it always seems like he's just on the cusp, and then he gets an injury.
Oh, Maria and Mike Kanellis had their baby too.
Yes, they did. They had their baby yesterday. Congratulations.
Carver Mars Bennett.
What's the name?
Carver Mars Bennett.
Carver Mars Bennett.
Oh, God. That's like child abuse at this point. Come on.
Sounds like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, it does.
No, I'm happy for them, man. That's cool. Congratulations.
You got any of them Carver Mars bars?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing that sounds normal in my name is Bennett.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But hey, it's better than like Apple or Birdie. Who names their kid Birdie? I mean, I know who names their kid Birdie.
I was going to say, I can't believe they're both pregnant at the same time.
Okay, we didn't even talk about that, did we?
Yeah.
No,
Did
we
talk
should
about
bring that
last
up.
week? What in the absolute hell is going on here? Both of those.
Do you think the two of them sat there and was like, all right, we need to do this, like, try it this time, this day, and, like,
Could you
almost
imagine?
planned to try and do this together?
You
I
know
could
what's
totally
even
see that.
creepier? They're due 2 weeks apart.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's really strange. That's really strange.
Did they just have like a conversation like, look, we're both ovulating,
Twin magic.
They're both
Twin magic, yeah, literally.
Yeah. Oh no.
No
What-
Do you
kidding.
know do you even have any idea how hard it is for two women to ovulate at the exact same time? Never mind, you don't. Never mind.
I was going to
What is-
say,
It doesn't really work that way that they have the same ovulation cycle, but apparently for them it does.
Well, they're twins. Maybe they do.
yeah, maybe that's a thing.
I know nothing about that. So.
It's not a sibling thing that gets your ovulation and your period at the same time. Oh my god.
Yeah, but not just siblings. They're twins. That's kind of a big. That's a closer thing than just being sisters. You
Right.
know. So they're.
They
DNA is a
don't
little
share the same uterus.
closer. Oh, thank God for that. That would just be odd.
That would be
But
strange.
What if they did the twin magic and then one of them's pregnant with the other guy?
Oh my god.
And then the whole
Oh
team.
my God.
Total
Yeah,
Bella's
Artem,
wife
funny
swap.
story. Yeah, Artem, funny story. You slept with Bray.
That's an episode of Total Bellas I would watch.
That would be an amazing reality show.
I like Artem though.
I know nothing about him.
I was going to say, I know nothing
He
about
was
it.
her dance partner on Dancing with the Stars, but I've been watching Dancing with the Stars for years. He's actually a cool dude.
Yeah.
You know, he was straight until Nikki, but
Yeah, well, he was on Dancing with the Stars, so you never really know. So wait a minute. Since you watched the show, and I don't, I'm out of the loop here. Was she on Dancing with the Stars while she was dating John Cena?
yes,
I think so,
Artem
yeah.
was her dance partner. There was
Oh.
actually an episode where she did like a 50 Shades of Grey dance with Artem, and John was sitting in the front row. And the judges and everything were commenting on how well they meshed together and how Pat was. And she's like, yeah, my fiance is kind of sitting right there. And John's got this look on his face like, I am not fucking sitting here watching this.
I can't believe I went to Orlando and sat through that whole match and then his big speech and then he proposed and then this happened. Like, I don't even, there's no words to describe how insane all of this is. Once you actually look at it from that perspective, is like she was seeing John. They were already engaged. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She started dancing with this guy. Then all of a sudden she's not with John. Now she's with this guy, and now she's she's pregnant because that was always the thing with John. He never wanted to have kids because he was already married once anyway. It's so, oh my God.
And the only way that you can
opera.
top getting engaged at WrestleMania is to propose on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. And as long as neither of them have a night vision camera and Ray J around, I think we're all set with the deal.
Oh, Ray J. Oh my God.
Yeah, the only thing Ray J is even known for anymore. Sorry, bud. Remember that music career he had for a little while?
I just think of Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, like they don't even refer to him as Brandy's brother anymore either.
Oh my God.
So
I forgot that. You're right.
So I gotta put a kibosh once we start talking about the Kardashians.
Let's redirect.
Yeah, good call.
So back to wrestling, AEW. We're getting Moxley Jericho at the next pay-per-view.
Oh man,
nice.
Which is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Arn Anderson's coming out with Cody now on a regular basis, which is just awesome. They're doing a lot of things right. I'm hearing Harper's going to be there shortly.
Yep. And tomorrow at the Toy Fair, which is like a big annual thing where they announce all the new toy lines, AEW has a toy line coming out. So
Excellent.
That'll be, the pictures of the prototypes will be released tomorrow and the information on that.
Well, that's really cool.
That is
cool. So they did at All Out, they had a company there doing 3D scans. And I don't know how many people got scanned, but there were a bunch. I know MJF was one of them. So
you got to figure all of the inner circle and
right, all the elite in the inner circle, and
I hope they end up looking really awesome.
From what I heard, the companies, I know nothing about toys really. I mean, I collect pops, but like it's all one company, so it's all in-house. But from the research that I was just reading about this beforehand, the company that does the 3D scans is the same company that does the 3D scans for Mattel, and Mattel does the WWE figures. The company that's doing the AEW figures is the one that's currently doing the Fortnite action figures, which I guess people in the community, the toy collecting community, say those Fortnite figures are very good. So we'll see. I have high hopes because if they look good, like it would be nice to like get a young, a Young Bucks 2-pack, a Cody, a Kenny Omega. It must be
Cody and Dustin or something.
Yeah, Cody and Dustin 2-pack. They could have all the tag teams together. I mean, it would be, and how would it be to be
Lucha
MJF?
Brothers.
If you're MJF or Sammy Guevara or Jungle Boy or one of those guys, you're like early 20s, and a toy company is making a toy of you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like,
imagine how little the Marco stunt one would be.
Oh no, it would look like a Polly Pocket.
How long until we get the video game?
Oh yeah.
Kenny's kind of the guy spearheading that, and from what I hear, every so often people ask him online, and he's like, "Yep, we're working on it." And I think his hints, him and Cody have both hinted that the game would be similar to No Mercy and the WCW versus NWL games.
Wow.
As long as it's better than the TNA games.
Well, there was only one TNA game, and it was horrific.
Well, there was one for the Nintendo DS that was even worse. It was so bad. The story mode could end with you being abducted by aliens. So it just was completely off the rails. I liked that Xbox. It was an Xbox 360 game. There just wasn't. There wasn't a ton of moves, and it was very much a first game in the series. If they made a set, like it was good enough to where I was like, man, if they make a second one and they kind of tweak a little things and they add more wrestlers and all, it was set up to be a good series and just never had the follow up, unfortunately. I pre-ordered that game because
I did too.
If you pre-ordered it, you got a TNA Best of DVD.
Yep, I remember that.
And there was another TNA Best of DVD, a different one inside the box when you bought the game too. So you got like a bunch of stuff. I remember there was an achievement where you could get like 50 achievement points or something like that and the achievement icon if you played an online match against a TNA wrestler, which very rarely must have happened. But I asked Stevie Richards about that one time, and he said if we played that game online and we each got the gamer points for it, that the points would be more than they paid him on his contract. He's got a dry sense of humor. I love it. Just the way he said it was like, oh, all right, I get you. Yeah, so the AEW video game, I hope it is like No Mercy or Revenge or WrestleMania 2000 in that style. Kind of a fast-paced arcade. Because WWE has a very simulated, it's like a real wrestling match. To a point, they have the zombie characters and all this other horse shit now.
But see, that's what I kind of like about the game, too. The realism, the match flow and stuff like that. The arcadey, whatever, I don't know.
Like, I think they want, because AEW is kind of a different style, I think they want the game to play faster.
Right.
Like, they think that's what that would be their thinking. But the way they've been building up to Jon Moxley against Chris Jericho,
it's a great build-up.
Great. The whole thing where Jericho offered him the Ford GT to join the Inner Circle.
That was great. Yeah.
He took the car keys. He stole the car. Like, then when they were in Miami, he drove the car in. Like, it was fantastic. And then he's just been Moxley has just been on another level with like his promos.
His promos have been incredible.
It's amazing that they, the WWE had this guy and they just let him go. He chose not to resign, but you know what I mean? Like, they let him go out into the wild, so to speak. And he's incredible. I mean, I think he wants to show that out of those 3 Shield guys, he should have been the guy. So like, he's got a chip on his shoulder about that, and he's proven himself. He's doing a good job. I like what
Here's the question. Do they give him the belt?
Now that I don't know.
Are they ready to have Jericho lose it yet?
It's funny because I remember watching this week with Jericho's match, and a couple of times the commentators made it a point to say that Jericho is the only champion we've ever known. He's the only champion we've ever had. Things like that. So almost like planting the seed, like this could be where Jericho finally, gives up the belt and Moxley has a run. So I'm thinking Moxley's going to take it.
I would like that. I don't know, only because it's his first time challenging Jericho. And, Jericho's had the belt for since August, maybe? August, whenever that pay-per-view was. And, it was August. I almost feel like they want to get, maybe space it out to the next All In or the next Double or Nothing or whatever it is. To
draw it out a little more.
Right, to give that so he has a long title reign. Because here's the thing. I don't know if Chris Jericho loses that title with Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, Cody, who technically can't challenge for the title, but they can always work around that. Pac, and I'm sure there are a couple other guys, but like Hangman Page is in the mix. Jericho doesn't necessarily get that title back, and he's not exactly a spring chicken. So who knows? They might keep it on him for a year-long title reign, and then have one of those young guys knock him off the pedestal, and then that's when Chris Jericho starts to wind down a little bit. I don't know. I'm not. I wish I was privy to those conversations, but I'm not.
I don't know. I think a year from like that Double or Nothing, and that was the one where Moxley debuted, right?
Right.
The thing with Omega on
the poker chips, yeah.
Poker chips, like a year after that would be kind of perfect.
Because basically what's happening here is they have it set up really well. If depending on what direction they want to go, you can have Moxley feud with Omega. Obviously, Moxley and Jericho, if something happened where Moxley won, Jericho would want a rematch or would try and get back in the rankings to number 1 contender to have the rematch. But you've got built-in fuse with Moxley and Omega. Omega has beef with Pac. Pac has beef with Moxley. So you've got those three guys up there, and then of course Hangman has beef with fucking everybody right now because he's just a anxious millennial cowboy or something like that.
Cowboy shit.
And that I'm so happy because before that pay-per-view, people were saying, "Oh, he's too young. He's not ready. He's not. He doesn't really have a personality. What's his gimmick? He's just kind of like Adam Page. What's
great.
the Hangman? And I agree. I don't disagree with that. It was a good choice to have Jericho win that title because now they've built this story where like Hangman kind of has a drinking problem and his friends are trying to help him, but he like resents. He doesn't like the Young Bucks as much because he thinks the Young Bucks, like when him and Kenny won the tag titles, the Young Bucks came out and celebrated, and he's like, they're making it too much about them and not about Kenny and Hangman. So there's a lot of subtlety in that. And
as long as they don't go the whole Road Warrior Hawk storyline,
Yeah, so he's not trying to jump off the Titantron or anything like that. No, I don't foresee that happening. But
Draws pushed him.
Yes, Draws did push him. That was the.
He's gonna puke.
He's gonna puke.
Beyond the Mat was actually on Netflix the other night. I was so excited.
Oh, I love that. I got to go back and watch that. But
By
I think. Go ahead.
By the way, he's talking about things that you need to watch. Table for Three.
Yeah.
With
Oh, is there
D'Lo,
another?
D'Lo Brown,
That was great.
and
Godfather and Mark Henry.
yes, it was
Really?
fantastic. It was really, really, really good. I only wish they would be longer.
That's the one
But-
thing about those. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it for an hour instead of a half an hour.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
just too short, but it's fantastic. Watch that, and then they also did a new ride along, which is hilarious. It's Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in one car, and Corey Graves and Carmella in the other one.
Oh God.
Those
Yeah,
are two good ones to watch.
and Nikki. Alexa. They're not good drivers.
No,
Right?
No.
Alexa's not a good. Becky, I think, is the worst driver.
and Alexa has to drive a Suburban in this one. So
that's cruel.
just even getting the seat where she could see
She's
was
little.
like, it was hilarious. You got to check it out. It was funny. It was those things are awesome. They always do a good job.
I'm getting like ideas of like the Golden Girls episode where Sophia was using the phone book.
Yeah, I can see that, like, or using one of those foam donuts or something.
I'm sorry, they don't even make phone books anymore, so I take that
I
back
know. Well, they.
again.
Yeah, your kids are gonna go, "What's a phone book?"
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that's another. Oh my God.
One did get delivered to the driveway once. Like, they throw them and like they're like, "Why is there a book in the driveway?" I'm like, just stop. Say the newspaper. What is that?
Yeah, and that was the other thing that people were talking about like, the ratings always come up about Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, etc. That the younger generation, unlike us who are kind of conditioned to sit down and watch TV, or let's see what's on TV tonight. That's what we would do to like sit down and like watch a Jeopardy after or whatever.
Right. It's not really even a thing anymore.
Right. What's on YouTube? What's what's PewDiePie or whatever the fuck doing? On I don't even know some of these YouTube Good Mythical Morning or whatever. It's just weird.
What?
Good Mythical Morning with
Thank God none of that shit's in my
God.
house.
They probably watch it and you just don't know.
No, I have it all set to my phone, whatever they watch.
Oh, good. That's cool.
90% of the time it's fucking Blippy.
What?
Blippy.
Well, my nieces watch it.
I'm
Rosie's upset. Rosie and Gabby are obsessed with it now, Eric.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. I would the money he makes, I would act like an idiot too.
That's the thing. And I feel like that's how you're making like a lot of those.
YouTube is the reason Billie Eilish is even a thing. She
Yeah.
went or something. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird to think that like from SoundCloud and YouTube and all this shit.
6 months ago, I didn't even know who the fuck she was.
No, she was a minor. I hope not.
So let me ask you something. With this whole Edge Orton thing, does this drag out all the way to WrestleMania?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Especially after that that AJ Styles got hurt, because that looked like where it was originally going to go. Like,
and maybe it was going to be a rated RKO versus like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see Edge versus AJ Styles in a singles match at a big pay-per-view, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Bro.
The Broserweights. And they are going to be the next tag team champions.
Yeah. Probably.
I got to see it. Yes, they should be. I got to see if I can find something.
Uh-oh. That was one hell of a match, though.
Absolutely.
It's odd because they're like that team is kind of like DIY. They were thrown together. They were two singles guys that kind of just got thrown together in this odd couple tag team. And it works.
Fucking worked brilliantly, man. They complement each other so well.
Well, you know, this is one of those things where it's gonna go well for a little while, and then something's gonna happen, and then they're gonna have a big, and the match between the two is gonna be amazing too.
That's gonna be epic too.
Yeah, and you know, like since Pete Dunne does a lot of that joint manipulation. I mean, shit.
Bro.
So I mean, we haven't seen that yet.
Did you see they did that face off between them and the Grizzled Young Vets, and they said something about manipulating joints, and Matt Riddle was like,
yeah.
Bro.
Hold on. Remember when I said I had to find something?
For 2 matches, right here in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They've won both, are now 1 win away from winning the Covenant Cup when they battle the Grizzled Young Veterans in the final. Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne looking
Oh, we don't need to hear the whole promo. But hold on.
That they think that you are the best thing to come from NXT UK, but we know the truth. You are the most selfish. Back to Liverpool. Bruh. I don't even know what you really said. You said something about manipulating the joint. And then I kind of lost focus, stopped listening, and started daydreaming, bro.
Oh, that's a fun thing.
While you were up in the clouds, these two were just reminding everyone that every single time they've stepped in the ring with me, they've lost. And next week, guess what? You lose. And the Broserweights walk out with that trophy, bro.
He's like
done with it, bro.
He plays the straight man to Matt Riddle's ridiculous stuff.
I loved it when they go
the shrug. The shrug there.
He's hilarious.
I don't know when he started doing that, but I like the shrug.
They're already wearing matching attire too.
That's how you know when a tag team's sticking together.
Which I love.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of.
But and I know there's going to be the inevitable breakup, but I kind of hope they last a while together.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should. It's one of those things that would be better as a slow burn, kind of like DIY was. You know, they won the Dusty Classic, they stayed together for a while, and then all of a sudden, bingo bango. And now they're back to. Here's the funny thing: they're back together, DIY, and
well, sort of.
Yeah, they're like cool with each other, kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you find a common enemy,
right?
But brothers fight, right? That's just kind of how it goes.
Does anybody know when Velveteen Dream is due back?
I haven't heard a thing about him.
Oh,
Kind of been missing him on the roster, right?
yeah, definitely.
Flourishing, obviously, without him, but still,
Yeah, it'd be nice to have him.
What
always
was
had the
what's
best
the
entrances
was he out on injury?
Yes.
Yeah, he has some kind of injury. I forget exactly what it is, but he's been. It's some kind of. It was a surgical procedure or something, so he's out.
But we have a return from injury, Ruby Riott.
Yeah, Ruby Riott with a little longer hair and a heel turn on Liv Morgan. You think she's gonna come and just take out all of the former Wyatt squad? I'm kind of curious to see where they're going with this whole thing.
Yeah, that was the typical.
Like if they're feuding and then they go, what does Sarah Logan think? Who is she going to side with or something?
No, they could do that. Maybe this gets Liv out of the thing with Lana and just.
Hey, if that's the case, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, it would have been nice to like.
Lana's terrible. I'm sorry, she's
Yeah,
terrible.
it would have been really. It would have been nice to have like a Riot Squad reunion, but they never really do that. It's typical.
She's so fucking terrible. It's why she's so terrible. It's why it's even funnier when she stands in the middle of that ring and says that she's the best wrestler ever. I mean, it's just so funny because she's just that bad.
Yeah, no, she's
really not that much better than Eva Marie was, really. That's kind of sad.
I don't know, man. That's a little extreme.
She was better when she was like the ravishing Russian when she was Rusev's.
Much better character.
When she first came in, that character was good. This what they're doing now, not working. In regards to the Velveteen Dream question, it was posted on February 1st on Wrestling News Source that they're actually trying to get ready back in time to be a special guest for Money in the Bank.
Oh.
Because he's been out for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, he's been out for a long time.
That's in September.
Ember Moon's still out, too.
I thought she was going to be a surprise at the Rumble.
Well, she must not be cleared yet.
I'm surprised we didn't see Nia at the Rumble.
I thought she was locked to return.
Speaking of Nia, there was a recent picture I saw on, I don't know where, but she's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, yep, she's lost weight. They never really gave her an outfit that was very flattering.
No, they never did.
True. I know.
They gave her the Super Shredder look.
Yeah, when she comes back, I hope they have a new set of gear for her. Especially since she, like you said, she's definitely lost weight.
Yeah. No, it was definitely noticeable, so good for her.
Yeah, no, I was happy to see that because I mean it's always a good thing somebody loses a little weight, gets to a healthy size for them because she's tall, she's a big person anyway, so once you add weight onto that and you're adding weight onto a bigger frame, it's harder to get around.
And of course, being Samoan too, that.
Yeah, that's always you're predisposed to having. Diabetes or predisposed to putting on weight like that. The Usos have done pretty good keeping it off. I mean, they're a little bit, obviously everybody's a little bit chubbier than they were 10 years ago. But they're in pretty good shape still.
But didn't The Rock one time get pectoral surgery or something like that?
Yeah, he had, I don't want to call it a mastectomy, but something like that.
This is like well over 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was when he was, when he wrestled
Rocky Maivia?
When he wrestled in the track pants with the black T-shirt, that's when when he was recovering from that. So he was wearing the T-shirt all the time.
Corporate Rock.
Yes, yeah. So right around that time, it was like he decided to get that done, and I mean now he's who knows what kind of.
The Rock is so much bigger now than he ever was wrestling. It's ridiculous.
Could you imagine if he was that size? Obviously, you can't sustain that when you're wrestling, but could you imagine that Rock being the corporation guy and feuding with Mankind, feuding with Stone Cold? Holy shit. And he was already great back then, but then to have that the chiseled look with just he would have never left. Or maybe he would have left sooner. Who knows? He would have left sooner because he had such a good look. But yeah, he's whatever Mexican supplements he's taking, it really compliments. his workout routine and his personal trainers and the millions of dollars he throws behind his fitness, I'm sure. We got about 5 minutes left. You want to drop anything about website or anything like that? And just
There's really no updates to give at the moment. We're still moving along and working it out, and there's no time frame yet. There will be extensive testing and a lot, before. We are hoping it will be this year. So just stick with us and stick with the show for updates. And as we have them, we will definitely share them. But as of right now, we're just plugging along, and it's going to take a little bit of time.
excellent.
But trust us, it's going to be worth the wait.
Yeah, I think so. Because from everything that you've told me, it seems like that's the direction to go in with because Steve was in asking us about what we think should be new features and stuff. So I think there's opportunity to add some new things.
Hey, look, like Triple H said, evolve or perish.
This is true.
And we're, evolving, changing with the times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you
Got
got
to keep up with the customer demand and all that,
And add some new stuff, because I mean, since Tag Me Date's been online, there's been a lot of Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and all this and that, and there's a different dimension to dating sites now, and there's a lot of swiping and a lot of super swipes, and you can pay 99 cents to automatically match with somebody. There's all kinds of weird shit going on. So we've got to find where we fit in that world as well, because part of the development is to I know we had an app that was released shortly before this redesign, but there's going to be another, from what I understand, an updated version of that Tag Me a Date app. So the site and the app are both being refreshed. So it'll be it's a good thing to as Eric said, to evolve. Evolution is a mystery.
And we would love to, promote even more couples that meet,
Absolutely. We had to have a couple match and get married. That's about everything you could want out of a dating site. And now,
and we have we have video to drop on you guys when we're back.
Eric's gone out and he's got some videos from, he was going to conventions and WrestleCons and all, or WrestleCades and all that. So, and I might be going to, I'm going to Tampa, but I don't know if I'm going to WrestleCon. So we'll see. I usually go to some of the other shows, but WrestleCon is another ticket to buy on top of the WrestleMania tickets. So it's another expense. And then when you get there, it's not just a ticket to get in, it's a ticket every time you buy an autograph or a picture, you've got to purchase it. But WrestleCon has Mike Tyson coming in. So I might have to go. Well, Mike Tyson might be too expensive, but I would love to go and meet Mike Tyson.
I wonder what his fee is.
I wonder
probably
if
astronomical.
It's probably really, really crazy.
I'm sure.
I can't believe they even got him. That's a good get, Mike Tyson. Fuck me. No, please don't, Mike Tyson. Don't fuck me. We know how that goes. We all know how that goes.
Next week we'll talk about our predictions for TakeOver Portland.
Yes, TakeOver Portland's coming up.
Card looks ridiculous.
Is Bianca challenging for the women's title Wednesday or at the TakeOver?
No, at the pay-per-view, I think.
At the TakeOver. All right, that's awesome. So, and that should be a good match. Of course, unfortunately, Bianca's not going to win because they're going to set up this whole Charlotte Rhea Ripley thing. But
although I'm not going to lie, Charlotte Bianca would be a good match too.
Oh, absolutely. But you think Vince McMahon's going to pass up an opportunity to have two tall blondes wrestle each other?
Of course not.
God, he's going to
wait till Vince McMahon sees Tony Storm. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he doesn't even. He probably doesn't. She's been working for him for like 2 years, and he probably doesn't even know who she is. But he's gonna pop like 6 blue chews and just go at it during this Rhea Ripley Charlotte match.
And on that note,
that's how we always know how to end it.
Oh, we always end on a high note for sure, bro. So that's it for us this week.
Manipulating a joint.
Yeah, we're gonna go manipulate a joint after the show now. do whatever what you want to do. But if you want to follow the show, the best way is on YouTube because we go live on YouTube. We go live on Twitch as well. We go live on YouTube, 7 p.m. on Eastern time. And all you got to do is go to youtube.com, look up Tag Me a Date, and that's all one word, Tag Me a Date, no spaces. And you'll find our Tag Me a Date channel. You hit the subscribe button, you hit the bell, so you'll be notified when we go live or upload new videos. If you prefer to listen to an audio podcast, we are on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play Podcast Store. Again, you just look for Tag Me a Date, and you should be able to find us and subscribe on there. And again, because we broadcast live on Tuesday nights, that podcast usually gets put up on Wednesday or Thursday afterward. So if you want to watch live, it's YouTube and Twitch. If you want to watch afterward, you can still watch the video on the archive on YouTube. But if you want to listen to it in MP3 format, go to one of those podcast repositories and just search for Tag Me a Date. And again, that's another way that you can follow us on social media. All of our social media is fairly easy to find because we go under at Tag Me a Date. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I'm sure some others. All you got to do is search for Tag Me a Date. That's Tag Me a Date, no spaces. And follow us, give us some likes, give us some retweets, all that stuff. The best way to follow what we're doing when we're not live on non-show days is to follow us on social media and see what we post. So we'll keep you updated on the redesign. We'll keep you updated on what we're going to talk about on the podcast and any other things that we can think of. We'll be posting up on our social media platforms. So check us out there. And again, make sure you subscribe. And if you are watching with us live today, I hope you will join us, or either if you're not watching live and you're watching a replay, join us next Tuesday live here on YouTube and Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Tag Me a Date channel. So we'll be back with another edition of the War Report. Just again, adjust your clocks as necessary, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday evenings. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.